Vai door te doen. Ja, zat je niet goed met dat? Kan doen. Good morning, Anthony. Can you hear me clear? The voice should normally be okay. So let's go over yesterday's trade and over today, both yesterday's morning and actually the afternoon. So let's take the 15. Somewhere in here we had our so this was the range of the orb from the morning session. We came in, we actually had that wick, and we came out of this one or this one. We actually entered. Square creep. Yeah. My target was actually hit, but we probably got out with a BE at this point instead of moving our stops. We actually should not have done this. I set up 1 hour for value gap, right? That was, I would have hit that one. Let me take a look. We did. But, yeah. So my target was actually this gap here. That was my full target. We actually hit it. We just had to need a bit more patience until we moved our stop. Now, Tuesday, we actually went into the boot camp and we actually back tested this. I took a few journals and went over them to see how we could improve. One of the improvements was actually leaving our stop and taking a profit at 1.5 R. So that 1.5 R will be a crucial one. So we start taking some profits at 1.5 from now on if we do the pre-orb, and we will let the rest run for the rest of the day. Even if it would have full TP, would have been great. The max that I would have gotten out of this was a 2.2, something like that, if we didn't move up. Now the afternoon session was something else. We actually started flushing hugely down on the orb. Same again. So opening price came, we actually immediately start rallying down. We came back to a 15-minute for value gap. We actually were in it in, I believe, this candle. We start going, so it came back almost to our stop. It was at that wick, our stop. It came back and then actually it started rallying down. My first target was that 600 level. And I said if we breach through here, we'd probably go to that 500 daily gap level. So we had a 500 level just below us, that was right here. So anywhere in this area would have been the best option to take full profit. Of course, we cannot predict that before it actually happens that we will go to that low. Most of us got out at that 4 hour for value gap around 580, something like this. Well, actually we could have held. So this is why we actually leave some runners to actually catch that other move down. Because we actually came down even further. We came to, what was 450 or something like that, if I seen correctly, before the daily went open. Yeah, so this was our lowest point of the day. That was 427. So even my 500 point was still another 70 points that we could have dropped down. Still, this would have been a very great area. The reason why I choose this area is because after this liquidity has been taken here, there was nothing holding us back actually to fall immediately to the fair value gap here. Now for today, if we do not see a push up strongly, I actually do want to see this, but I'm not gonna go against the trend at this point. The trend is going lower, so we still have a 4 hour value gap. It's already been touched once, but still have like a huge opening range into it. So that would be, if we go down, my first target and see how we react off of this 4 hour value gap. Because in the 4 hour actually we made a new structure. So this is right here. After we broke that, the change in, so for the people that were in the boot camp, they actually should have known what this is. This is a shush. So in changing character, because this was a stream of movement. So we went up, this was the move that we did, so this was the high, and that was our last low, or higher low. Now we created a lower low. This only comes to fruition if our high now is beneath here somewhere, so under this one. Then we have created a new higher low. If we lower low, if we create this one, that means that the full structure of bullish just changed to bearish. Remember that. But that's only on the 4 hour. The daily we still have till here. So if we breach this low, if we come under that low, that means that the full structure of bullish and the daily just has changed bearish. Weekly, we still have a lot to go. So this is our last weekly. That was our high, that was our low. So we still have a huge weekly candle. So it can happen that we go in a weekly bearish for a while until these gaps are filled up, and then continue way up. So keep that in mind. If we do fall further, there is a big possibility that we actually change completely. So this is that low that I don't want to see broken. If this gets broken, then we actually, oh, wrong keyboard. So then we actually have a bearish scenario. A bearish. Oh my. Yeah, I'll leave it like that. Get this one locked in. So somebody asked me yesterday, how far will we drop? Actually, we never know. We can go to certain liquidity pools and see if once this has actually been taken, where is the next one? So we can go to the next one then, and then afterwards again. But we never know if it will continue fall, of course. That we will have to be patient for always. Before I start, I'll take a look if we have any news today. And we did. At 8 o'clock we had some news. And at 11 we have again. And at 9 somebody is speaking. ECB press. Lagarde speaks. I have no idea who this is. So we do have some news today in the morning session. We got about 2 more minutes for our first range, and let me take a look. So we did sweep our last liquidity. So if we go a bit up, that's okay. The targets would be, first of all, this value gap right here. If we can breach that one, we probably come up to here. So we will take a very close look in how we move. Yeah, this is a 1 hour value gap that's untouched. So and we still have that daily gap right here too. So remember, if we have a day gap or an opening gap, these are targets that the market actually gets drawn to because they are left open orders right here. So if we want to go a little bit higher, the main idea is that we actually go for these highs and then continue the way down. To know, Asia has already given a great move, so if we have a little bit slower market in the first hour, it's probably very normal. So we had a 137 point drop. We don't always see that in Asia. So we got our range, so this would be the candle right here. I'm not in anything, I'm just taking a look how much we could get out of this trade at least. Yeah, if we continue to that high, we can actually hit to that daily per value gap. That would be a very fantastic trade. Good morning, Nicholas. Good morning, Ketchup. Oh. That's now really something I would not eat in the morning. You really got a name that sticks, man. Mayo and ketchup. So in the 5-minute structure, this looks actually, we want to go for this gap at least, right here. The reason why I would say this is actually we took liquidity at 7, so we should actually continue that movement. The only thing that could give us a little bit of downside is the news that came out at 8, and that was all green, so this is actually bearish for the markets. Every time it's green on your news, it's actually the opposite what the market shows us. So we come in the market with the idea for the rest of the day that we go down. I do want to go up first to see that daily gap get hit, because we actually left it completely open right here. So now this 15 minute is closed completely, or our 30 minute is closed. So that looks good. Also the hourly, we closed that completely off, so there's no reason for us to go. If we do want to go up now, this should be actually the part where we go up. The reason why is we took in an hourly, previous hourly, all the liquidity that's could been taken, and now we actually should see the reaction off of it. If the market breaks to the downside, I would only risk a half hour on this. I would want to go up here. Because I actually don't believe we will fall that much further down. So that was a very small close. If you want to take this, you can. Of course, targets would be all the way down. The reason why I would only risk a half hour is because actually we came in, we took liquidity, we took everything, and I want to see that actually push up again. Oh, on MNQ we did not breach. Oh, that's strange. On NQ we did. So MNQ said it was equal. I see my... Yeah, that was equal. Yeah, so if you are trading on MNQ, we actually did not breach. That was actually the same height. But I gotta start charging on MNQ instead of NQ. Can I find that? Nah, that's all. So if the market in a minute or two or three does close below, we can jump in it. Doesn't matter what my thought process is, if the market does want to go lower. I actually did not expect it, because we actually have fallen quite a bit already. So the only part where the first liquidity would be is this one. If we did not take that one yet. No. Did anybody jump in? That would actually be in the trade. Yeah, I know on MNQ it did not break, but on NQ it did, so... Ja, 12 maal 2. 24. Tot 24. Ja, nee, 100 gedeeld door 24. Of weer bedrag, totaalbedrag. Het is 900 staan. Dus het is 900 gedeeld door 26. Gedeeld door 24. Oh ja, 190 dus 7. 7,9. In about 1 minute we have that close, and I'm actually still not convinced, but yeah, if the market shows us, we'll have to take it. We do not have any open for value gaps right here, do we? So that was a close, by the way. If you're trading on MNQ, you should actually just be netted, because there was no sign on MNQ that we actually broke. Yeah, your stops could be halfway, because there is actually no for value gaps left, just this one here. Just looking. Yeah, I would put my stop halfway. Or on this last wick. Target would be the lows, of course. That would be the first target. And that should have been, how many points was that? That was 17 points, around 17 points. So do the math, people. 17 points x2 is 34. Yeah. So it's $34 per contract. Still, I was not really convinced that we are going down at this point, so I would have risked a half on this one. Like I said, if we were going up, I would risk immediately a full R, because I do believe we will hit that high. But at this point here, we are just actually going sideways, so we just took in inner liquidity. So if you come back to the range of the orb, I would probably already take half off. Just because of this small gap right here, we actually tapped that one. I do want to see that push lower, or otherwise, look, what we are actually inside this ranging part we are doing now right here. Just because of how the market already reacted. So we always have to adapt a little bit to the market, how we react. So we watch what the market actually tells us before we actually enter. Like I said, I did want to see that move up, not a move down. So if you did not enter, fine by me too. But if you actually wanted to take this mechanical, that was actually our entry. I find it quite strange that MQ and NMQ did have that much difference today. Because this is a huge difference. So stops definitely halfway, don't put them all the way up. There's no need for, no for value gaps created inside. If we get above, if we do tap that orb again back in this next 15 minutes and we come completely back inside, I would at least take half off immediately. No waiting for it. I do want to see that push immediately down. The reason why is we came actually in an hourly for value gap. We took already all liquidity, so if this one does not want to continue lower, we actually will fall at that high again. So, and the first downside movement is actually this one, and then we have a for value gap just below here, a 4 hour, and that is this one. So my main idea that we were going up, so that was already the tap. So I said when we tap it halfway off, if you were in it, that was a stop already. So that's just the reason why I didn't want to short.
Order filled.
So if we go up, if you didn't take the short, I would take the long, people. This is actually the reason why I didn't want to do it. Because I actually felt already that this was gonna be a no one. So if you only took a half hour, this just a second ago, and you took some off right at the start already, so you should be at less and less than a half hour, not profit. If the order breaks to the upside, take a full risk and let it fly. That would be my suggestion. Because I wanted to see a long breach, not a short. If anybody was a good listener, they actually would have heard it. Definitely say me multiple times. But I want to see that one happen actually. That would actually be the play of the day. And then come all the way up to here. The only thing about this order range now is that we actually are inside a 5 minute for value gap right here too. So if our stop is here, we are inside a 5 minute for value gap. So putting it at the low would actually not matter that much. We can actually put it all the way at that wick because we are inside that for value gap anyways. If the market wants to continue, we will see that immediately push now higher. We can put it all the way back down here. So the possibility is that this is the last liquidity sweep and then the continuation. So the best option would be all the way, but that's under the orb, so orb range. That's the best option for your stop if you go up. Second option is actually that long wick here, and then you can just take that 5 minute candle. Do know you're inside an FEG, and the knowledge tells us if we are inside of a value gap, there is still a possibility that the market wants to come back down here. So remember that. This would be the last play I would take. I don't want to see now immediately a continuation, or otherwise we will have a sideways market. The only reason why we could have a bit of a sideways market in the morning session, like I said, we already dropped 130 points in Asia. We dropped about 400 points yesterday, I believe. Yeah, that was 330 points, so that was a big move. So when this closes, I would enter this and take a long of it. Stops would be same, the bottom of that wick, and then let it run. Or you can choose to take the orbs range or all the way down. So my preference would be all the way down here, because this is the last liquidity sweep. So if the market should come back, it should not come back down here. The only thing is you will have a little bit less R collection, of course. If you put it higher, you have a higher risk, but the R collection is twice as big. So it's up to you where you put it this time. If you actually were in this and you knew, this tells us actually that for value gap says we should take it at a low. This is the document how I actually done it. So even though there was for value gap inside, I would still take it to that low. So we got about 2 seconds until that close. This is that close now. So that would be your first or your last trade that you will take for the morning session. This actually looks like a good play now. But I'll understand why I actually did not want to short this. I hope you did, because this could actually prevent you from actually taking a not profit without needing to take it. The main reason was actually because of this 1 hourly. The previous hourly, we actually took that liquidity already. So there was no reason for us to come down if we wanted to go up. That does not mean that in a 5 minute we cannot slowly move a little bit lower to take some internal liquidity and then continue. They sometimes need it. What am I looking for now at this point? So if I don't want to keep going sideways movement, I want us to breach this for value gap right here immediately. So anybody did not hear it, this is all long, by the way, that we should have taken. That would be here. So that's a 17-point stop if you take it to there, and it's take it all the way down. That's a 34-point stop. So it's your choice. We will see how we react on that high here. If we do continue, there's a big possibility that we go actually for all these gaps here. So, and if the market in London decides to go up too, we will hit that daily open gap. So this is my main target. So that would be my last target. That would result in actually a 4 hours. So this is actually a huge play without adding. So I'm watching. I hope all of you are very awake this morning and did not enter the first one. If you did enter, that was good too, because following your plan is also a good option. I can just learn you the skill where you can actually see multiple things in the market. So just because if you go into a higher time frame and you actually see this already happening, you cannot enter this just out of this. Does it always happen and always immediately fall through? No, it does not. So there is still a possibility that we go to that low, but I wanted to see actually the higher push first. So we still have the first here is a 1 hour for value gap. We want to see how we react if we tap that high here. If this high does not hold any big liquidities, that means that the market will continue up to the next gap. So the next gap is here. Anything in between will just be vapored. So this does not mean anything. These two candles. The next is that 1 hour just above, and that daily is laying above. So this is the opening gap. And these two would be our next targets. So that would be then TP1. That's 23,424. Full TP would be 23,460. But first we need to get over this 1 hour small gap here. Heb je terug in de stad of niet? Nee, geen keer. So the book is, part 2 is uploading. I have one more part to go. It was too big to put them in 2 sizes. Can I take the long 2 with the other half R? True said 1 trade per day. 1 trade, what R? 1 trade per trade. Didn't take that. Okay, so it's one trade per day that you said, Anthony, that you took? Yeah, that was a... Yeah, rules are 1 trade per day, okay. Maybe put that in as rules instead. If you entered a half hour, you can still take the opposite side for a half hour. But that's up to you. Instead of 1 trade per day, you can actually say I can have 1 hour not profit a day. So that makes that you actually can, yeah, like I said, if it goes down, I said a half hour risk max. Reason why there was too much liquidity just below that we could have swept and then actually see that move what we wanted to see. But if you only entered with a half hour, you can actually say to yourself or put into the rules that you got 1 hour to spend, and if the market shows that it immediately changes hand, that you could re-enter with another half. It's not out of FOMO, this is just following the market. You can see that these candles were way smaller than now this action that just played out. That's the reason why. So we're now at the top. Now here I do want to see that straight out push again. We do want to see that continuation right here. I do believe there is a small 1 minute for value gap. Yeah, see, we are tapped at 1 minute for value gap right here. And actually these hold a lot of value. Especially if we are in a kind of cup way movement. Alien wave or... And then I want to see that straight push up. Because this is like the last part where we could have changed hands before we actually take out that for value gaps. If we take out that high, we will definitely go to these here. If you do watch this, don't zoom in too much. We still have a 3 minutes for value gap right here, so we can see how we react off of this. We almost created a new 5 minutes, so that's great to see. And we got about 20 minutes before open, so we got plenty of time. Yesterday's trade would have taken a long time before we actually were there, so go back to yesterday. Is that what I believe was here somewhere? Yeah, it took from 8 until 11:30, so that was about 4 hours that we could have been in this trade. So until my my second TP hit. So orb trading is being patient. So anybody that's new to this, you will be in a trade for at least an hour and a half, 2 hours. If you enter the full R, you should be around a half hour in profit right now. So we now tapped at 3 minutes for value gap. So now I want to see that continuation. I prefer to see this continuation immediately off of it. That would show me its hand that it actually wants to continue higher. No, perfectly good answer. Full agree. It's not actually a good time to jump in a trade after we actually already moved it. It's better to be patient then. So we still have a 5 minute for value gap right here, so we can come back to that, of course. This is how we add, of course. If we tap this 5 minute right here, and then actually I have that reaction again to close above, that would be actually a nice spot to add to that first TP. That would actually be a great one. We're not only trading inside, we are creating now a 15 minute too. So if your stop is down here, do know that your stop is at the center actually of a value gap too. So, but you could have taken it all the way back here. It depends on how you actually want to take this. I would put him right here. I would not take him all the way to that low. This is actually that protected low of these value gaps that's created. So we're almost back at entry right here. Just keep it calm. We're all in it. And let it do its thing. Still got 10 minutes to open, and news is in the next. Oh yeah, so there is somebody speaking at 9, so let's hope he does not push markets up and down or anything. So even here you can see, okay, there was one bigger candle, but then the candles start to shrink very fast in strength. So this was much stronger than actually when we came back down. So if we see markets like a movement, we can also watch the strength of the candle. So actually these are quite strong. They started slowing down. Now we had a small retracement now. So this is all fine. So my drawing is still on the board, so this is actually what I expect us to do. Come in that 5 minute for value gap and then continue. It can all the way come back down to that low even. If you did enter with a half hour before and you risked a full hour right now again, make sure that's also allowed in your plan. So 7 minutes to open. Een beetje heb. Hoe is het? My small cat that is in the van right now is actually getting connection with my older cat that we already had. Oh, it's so funny to see. So now, I would prefer if we have created a small 2 minute right here. Now I don't want to have this hold any value, so I want to see if we go back up, okay, we can close this off, that we actually tap and go immediately all the way above. That would be the thing that I would prefer to see. So this 3 minutes still holds, not because we closed it completely, did not hold, so it held. So once we tap that, I want to see that continuation. So just be patient, it's all okay, the market just does its thing. We're in it anyways, so we can only let the market do its thing now. And we can only sit here. It's very funny to say actually. But on the 5 minute this looks actually very nice. So we came back, we came down, and this is actually a way bigger candle than the two previous ones. So this looks okay. 15 minutes same. We still have 4 minutes anyway, so need to be patient until I say anything. Now we did create a 15 minutes for value gap right here. We got about 4 minutes still open. Let's see how we react on open. But if London decides actually to give us that push, we probably immediately get to TP1. So we are no luck today. We did not have any adding spots. We did not tap that 5 minute for value gap. We just missed it by, I believe, yeah, about 2 points. We missed it. That's okay. This is actually something that most of people actually do not know yet. So if markets now want to change hands and go down immediately, we do not stall a market. So if a market stalls a while, that means actually it's building up liquidity to continue a trend. So you will see this happen even yesterday. Yesterday is actually a very good example for this. So we came down, we stalled, we came a little bit back up, and we continued the market. We came sideways and we continued. We came sideways and we continued. You can actually see this over and over again in the market. So if we are actually in a continuation movement, we will stall sometimes. This is to build up some liquidity and to take it again and then continue the move. Why do they do this? Because they need those contracts to give that bigger push. We got about 2 minutes still open. Let's be patient. And if you did take a trade, the down part, and you took a not profit, journal it immediately, so we can review it afterwards together, that we know how we can adjust it, that I can actually improve you guys faster by eliminating small things, not about how you trade, but just in how you take profit or how you maybe change the stop, something very small, but the outcome can be such a big difference. If you can change 2 or 3 things of those, you actually will be profitable, because most of you are actually very close to being profitable already. So if I can change like 1% of that or 2 in your trading ways, I can make you guys profitable instantly. Anybody did not watch the bootcamp lesson from yesterday, go watch it. There's a lot of value in that one, especially in how to review your own trades and how to make sure that you actually can see the things where you did something not correct. And that's okay. We can't always do everything correct. It's trading. But what we can do is actually make sure we don't repeat them over and over again. That's open. So that's that liquidity just been taken. Now I do want to see that push continue. So this is about 1 hour now that you collected. The reason why I'm on TP1 is that that is exactly 1.5 R that we should collect. So that we can actually take off 1 R. But if you're okay with 1 R, at 9 o'clock, it was fast trade, 1 hour trade, you got 1 R collected. So if you want to take profit here, it's okay for me. You got 1 R collected. If you entered a half hour, you actually made back what you gave to the market. Because we are now trading in that, so the reason why is we are now trading in that last 1 hour value gap. This market does looks like it wants to go higher anyways. But it does not mean that the market cannot first go back a little bit and then continue that higher, of course. We've seen that happen multiple times right now, so remember that markets move in waves. So it's okay that the market comes a little bit back in the retracement and then continue. I do want to prefer it to continue straight away here, just because we came in a 1 hour. That's why we actually want to see it continue directly. The only thing is we cannot move our stops at this point. The reason why is we still have a 15-minute value gap right here. And a 5-minute. I'll make this one a bit smaller actually, it's getting me distracted. So the reason why we cannot move our stop up to this high is because if this gap gets tapped, we actually could have that continuation movement off of it. If you did not take profit, our entry is actually exactly on that value gap start. So we will have to be patient. But it was okay with 1 hour collect, we actually hit that 1 hour. I did not zoom out enough actually. We actually hit a 4 hour fair value gap too. I was not aware of this. This was actually a 4 hour too. Yeah, most of the times if we hit a fair value gap we actually hit it halfway. So if you did take a partial, you should have taken 1 hour off, not half or anything closer than that. You should at least take a full hour off. If you only entered the full hour, that means a half hour is a full hour. So if I see profits in the journals, I want to see full complete hour collected. For the rest, let's be patient. Opening is about 6 minutes in, so the next 5 to 10 minutes will show us. If you did not take profit the first time, we're back at our 1 hour collection at around right blah 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 right now. It's up to you. I'm here to guide you. I'm not here on the other side that can press that button for you. So if we move further up here and we actually create a new 5-minute fair value gap and can tap that one, then we can move our stops up to entry. But as long as we don't create a new, oh wait, let me change that viewpoint. So right here, if we create a new 5-minute fair value gap afterwards, then we can actually change and move our stops a bit up. But as long as we are in here, we can actually not. If you had any emotions while you actually were in this, and we were long and this came back down and you did not feel comfortable, write immediately down what you didn't feel comfortable about. I actually know what it was, but you guys need to see that for yourself or feel that for yourself. So it does not mean because my drawing is here that this will actually happen. I don't got a crystal ball yet, so I do have a good eye for markets, how they move, but still I'm not 100% accurate. Nobody is actually. At TP1, if you did not take profit, I do want you to take a full hour off of this and let the rest run. If you want to have all the profits and keep letting it run, that's fine by me too. But be okay then if the market comes back that you give something to the market. You have to be okay with that too. I would prefer that you take 1 hour off actually at that first TP. We came to 1 hour and a quarter actually, and we actually came very close to that first TP. Looking at the 5-minute structure and the 50-minute structure, this still looks like it wants to go higher. Like the reason why this is the first TP, it's okay, it's because it's halfway that 4 hour. Second reason is we have a 5-minute for value gap right here that we probably will tap before we could change direction again, and that's the start of first TP2. So that would be TP1. This is 1.5 R collected right here. Do what you please. If you get out, you have 1.5 R at your disposal right now. If we hold, we go of course further to that next gap just above. That would be 23,432 or 30, something around that area. So if you take a partial, you need to take a full R off. Again, if you take a partial here, take a full R off. So that means if you had 5 contracts inside, that you will take off, you will need to take off 4 at least. In time, you will be able to learn to see this move too. I can explain you what I see. It is not always accurate, but most of the time it is. If you did take off the contracts and you took a full R at profit, the only thing is we can still not move our stop up. We still have that for value gap down there that's not been touched yet. So the stop stays at the same spot. That means that you would have a quarter of an R still not in profit once the stop got hit. We just leave him. We do not touch him or use or move him away. Now this is actually the second time I see a 3-minute play out in these, because we did not have a 5-minute for value gap right here in this area, but we did have a 3-minute right here. We tapped and we continued. So I'm taking a look if we can actually start adding on a 3-minute base instead of a 5-minute, because we had one more here. So that would have been one ad, second ad. That would have been a great, very beautiful trade then immediately. So that was TP1 right here, exactly on it. Now we're moving further. So this is actually the first 15-minute open. In about a minute we will have the range of London's orb actually. If we breach that to the upside, yeah, we have still some continuation movement, so we will drag our TP up bit by bit. Now this is the full 4 hour for value gap we're getting tapped in. Okay, so this is actually the open range from London's open. Now I do not, I repeat, I do not want to see a breach to the downside right here. Now I do want to see that continuation straight. So then actually the pre-orb session and the orb session shown us that we want to go to the same direction, and that is that daily gap right here. So all of us should at least be at 1 hour profit, or at least at a BE completely. If you took 1 hour off and you took a not profit before. And this was actually a fast orb today. So mechanical way, this would have not have worked, the pre-orb of course, but with a bit of knowledge we can actually prevent us from entering and then actually enter the real one. Do know that this not always works, so I had already orbs where I actually saw the market want to go up higher and we dropped and we actually kept dropping all the way. And I actually did not see it immediately either. So then I entered the same with a half hour and the market rallied and kept rallying down. So it was like, okay, I was not correct with my idea. So always make sure that you can change the way you think if you are thinking about how the market moves. The reason why is we are trading intraday, so we do not have anything with the monthly or the weekly to do with it. We are trading intraday, so that means intraday that an hourly can go up, but next hour can go down. So especially if we get to crucial points, we can definitely change direction then. So the market rallied about 70 points from where we started, so it's normal for a London's market to slow down a bit. If the next 11 minutes yeah, so let me zoom out. If the next 11 minutes right here create this gap here, and we have a new 15 minute actually been created, then we can move our stops to entry. Whoa! Hello. My cat thinks I'm climbing pole or something like that. Yeah, he came jumping from under the table straight onto my t-shirt. But if we had the low of the day right here, And we can continue. This can go up for a very long time too. So maybe we can just trail stop this instead of taking full TP at this area. If you did not take any profits yet and you go for TP2, that's a 2, that's almost a 3R here that you will collect. In the next 4 minutes, if we close this orb to the upside, London shows us it wants to do the same way. So that's actually a very nice indication for us. So I'll take TP1 off the screen. If you did take a profit this morning, leave the charts for what it is for the rest of the day. Do not start trading again. What are you doing, little friend? Try not to trade again in the afternoon session. It's not needed. Once we have profits, it feels much more. It feels way nicer if we have actually an entry. We took a profit and can end with that for the day. We don't need to constantly trade more and more. We just need a good entry and then follow the market where it wants to go. Biting my nose, you cool. That's a strange cat we have. Did we close? We did not close to the upside yet. Yo. Okay, Kitten is very active in the morning, so heb er iemand iets te zeggen in de chat? If you like these streams and you want me to keep doing them, at least give me a thumbs up. It helps the channel grow. I got to 777 this week, so I'm very happy already. I want to get this actually to 1,000. This took me about over 4 years to get to 1,000 people, so can you imagine how long I've been doing this? It's actually not easy to maintain good followers and that they actually want to grow together. Once you have them, they stick, of course. But anybody that says it's easy to get a huge amount of followers, it's actually not. So now we have actually that 50 minute right here. In about 5 minutes we will have that close. This looks like an orb breach to the upside too. So we should continue right now. size, a breach to the upside. So if you're trading, if London shows us we want to go up too, we could have a nice rally in London. So you almost hit TP2 right here. If you only have one contract left, yeah, you can choose to trail stop up there, and that is putting your stop then right. Take everything off for a second. Yeah, I will put my stop down right here and then see how we move, because we have a 5 minute created, or are creating right here. If we do create that one and it does not get tapped, we could have that continuation. But we do need to wait until that TP is hit first. Or be more patient. So it can take another half hour before we get there, of course. But this is actually already a decent run for London, or for pre-London session. So I believe we will hit TP2 in about a few minutes. Again, I'll show you why I took this as a second one. It's also important that you all understand this. So now we have a crucial point. So we are actually filled up that fully 4 hour gap right here. If the market now wants to continue, we will go to that opening gap. If the market here shows it's losing strength, it's normal, because we filled up that 4 hour value gap. So we need to be aware of where the market is at this point. So the only reason why I do believe we could go higher is we tapped that 1 hour, so we this held no value, and we are now trading inside a 1 hourly too. Again, most of the times we hit halfway, so this is actually halfway. Some people take profit at start. Here you have almost always profit. Here you have 40%, 60% profit. If you take a top, you got about 35 to 25% profit, because the value gap not always gets filled up on the hourly completely. The 4 hour, same. The smaller the time frame, the more chance they get filled up completely. So if you want to take some more off of here, that would be actually a good place, or it needs to rally continuously right here. So on a 5 minute and a 50 minute base, everything still looks perfectly fine. Nothing's happening. It's got about 40 seconds in this 15, and look how strong this actually looks. Same here. Still looks very strong. What you can do now is to prevent, if you have taken profit, that it comes back all the way down, is now you can put actually your stop at that low. So here we can move our stop now to that week. I do not want to see the market come back to that low. and that would be at 23,300 and wrong keyboard again. 23,376. That would be the stop right now. So, main thought process about this is we had created a 15-minute value gap right here. Hey, call me. Hey. Wat? Geen tandjes aan het krijgen, vriend? I think my kitten is getting toots. He wants to start learning how to use them. So what can happen now in my thought process is that we actually hit this 15-minute FVG right here. Come on, small one, be gone. And then continue. So if we hit this, I do want to see a strong push out of it immediately then. This can take about a half hour from now, so I'll probably be off by then. So anybody should be fully in profit right now. You should at least have taken 1 hour off. You should at least put your stops almost at BE, so that would be how many points? 3 points not in stop, so that would be $6. So you should at least be full R, collected a full R. So. And now you have a risk-free trade where you can actually let go of everything. You don't have to do anything. You just let the market decide then if we hit our full TP or that we get a BE out of it with 1 hour collected. Oh, part 2 is almost done. So anybody in here wants to listen to Best Loser Wins, I'll give you the link. It's not online because I don't believe I'm allowed to put this online. I am allowed to put it in a hidden spot, so I can give you a link if you want to watch it or listen to it. It's a 6-hour audiobook, so you'll be there for a while. So, but I can share it, the link. Because you guys all helped me. Last time you got me to 10 thumbs ups, so I said I would buy the book and immediately put it online. So this is what I did. I bought the book and put it online. We still came in at 15 minutes, so actually everything happening according to plan. If you're watching a lower time frame, this will look a bit different, of course. We'll keep always at the higher time frames. They help a lot more. So we're still in that 15-minute value gap. Just be patient, see what brings. Our stop is at a good spot, so if it comes back to that spot, we'll probably go a lot lower. If it does not come to that spot, we're actually at the best spot we can be. The only thing that can go above it is that we are actually inside a 1 hour value gap too. That's the only thing, and this hourly is not finished yet, so we still have 22 minutes. So full TP2 was about 6 points away, so very close. If you feel any emotions, write down which ones. I will keep repeating this. This will actually help you grow so much faster. The only thing, and this candle actually still looks very good. The 1 hour and the opposite way looks a little bit less good. And the funny thing is, we took liquidity right here on MNQ, on NQ. On MNQ we did not. So we actually never tapped that liquidity. This 1 hour is higher. It's all the way up here. Do know that NQ comes above MNQ always. The reason why is the contracts are bigger. So I do want to see that push up in the next 5 minutes back. That would be awesome to see. So then the market actually followed the 15-minute and then continued higher. It's almost filled up completely, so we don't need a full. So we came halfway, or 3/4 of the way. So in the next 3 minutes, I want to see actually that candle come back to that high and then continue. Like I said, once this came down, it can take off a half hour. That's normal for markets. And the only thing that we can do is keep our hands off of any button and just let it ride its thing. If you did make some profits, share them at least in the Discord would be nice, or just in chat too for new people that join. That they can see that we actually make money here. My main thing is actually making sure that you actually can do this without me. This is why I'm here every day, sitting by you, or actually at the other side of the screen, not by you, but helping you understand how markets move, what they do. Ik wil niet leren. So if you take full profit already and you're out, that's okay. I will see you back this afternoon for more information. If you took full profit and you are up above an hour, do not trade again this afternoon again. This will keep you mentally a lot stronger. You can see accordingly how the market moved today, that I said if we go down I would enter a half hour, if we go up I would enter again a full hour, even though that you take a half hour loss or not profit. This was actually my main idea how the market should have moved for the first hour, and then afterwards you can do what it wants. I'm online for the next 15 minutes, then I'll end the stream. We will see in the afternoon how we actually end this. If we had full TP, yes or no. We will have to be patient for that. This can take another 3 hours, so I will not be sitting behind the screens for 3 hours. This would actually not be productive at all. So, what can we do afterwards? If the market decides to continue and go above that high again, we can put our stop then at that last wick of this 15 minutes or the next 15 minutes. It will be decided soon. And we can put our stop there and add to the position. If you want to add to that position, this is where you can add them. The reason why you can actually add on two spots. You can actually add right here where we are at and have a bit more risk, and then put your stop just below. Have a way bigger profit, of course. Or you can be patient until the market decides to close above again and put your stop at the last liquidity sweep. Less profit, more accuracy. More profit when we do it on the way down, but less accuracy. That means that we have more chance that we do get stopped, because the market here is not showing yet that we want to go higher. Therefore, we need to be patient until we close above the last wick high. So for new adders, I prefer to do it this way to start with. It feels more comfortable at the beginning. We will do it a week opposite side too, and see how the outcomes is differently. Because this is how we are actually a different trader than most of them. So I am not your average trader, so I do not. What we have to do as traders is actually be different than the 80-90%. So we just have to do something different than they do. That's all.
Yahoo!
We don't need to be the same as the 10% that actually makes money, or the 1% or 2% that makes a lot of money. We just need to do it differently than the others. If we do that, we'll already be profitable. And this is one thing that people do not do as new traders, is adding to positions. This actually makes your trading way more profitable. So that's the 15 minute now. We still created another, we did not close it completely, so if we tap it one more time, I'm okay with it, but I do not want to see it go below here. Then I do want to see that continuation. Because in the 5 minutes, we created a big candle, we tapped that for value gap, and now we see that movement further. So I do want to see, if we tap this, I do want to see a strong reaction immediately. Is everybody still awake, or am I talking to myself today? I'm always talking to myself when I'm doing this, actually.
You can be talking to mommy if you want to listen.
Hmm?
You can be talking to her if you want to listen.
Mm-hmm. So everybody understands why this was not the play and this was the play. If not, ask me again. I'll go over it one more time so that you actually understand how markets move and you can see it, because it's important. This is how you can actually prevent yourself from entering with a full R down and a full R up. It will help you grow a lot more. But if you don't ask a question, I cannot actually... Okay. Doctor Who, enjoy. Awake. I wasn't there on the TEH beginning of the stream, so I would appreciate your explanation. Oh, yeah. Of course, yeah. So once actually the order broke to the downside at the beginning, I was watching at the 1 hour. So we were actually, this is what the order created. And in the 1 hour, we had a downwards candle, we had a small upwards, and this one actually took out all liquidity here from the nearest buy. Even though we tapped a 1 hour value gap, if liquidity has been taken, the only liquidity if we go down is this part that we could take. So my main thought process was, if we see a structure let's get formed to the upside, we see that we have built up a little bit liquidity right here, not much but a bit, so we were ranging here. And what did we do? We did sweep the lower liquidity already. We had actually a bullish structure getting out of it, we closed candles above, and this actually indicates, after a sweep of all the lows that been created previously, if the market wants to change its hand, it's right here. The reason why is it's taken all the liquidity already. So this is the last liquidity it should be taken. We had a little bit of chop sideways and then small movement up. We came down here and we closed below. The reason why I didn't believe we want to go lower is actually these gaps. These two gaps, we just filled it up and we actually moved immediately back up. So I said, if we want to take it mechanical, we can, and we enter it with maximum a half hour. Because I did not believe that the market wanted to rally lower. If it did, we had a huge momentum. So we would have gone all the way back down here. So that's still a very big department down. So this is why I would have entered a half hour, but not a full position. The reason why is I did not feel that the market wanted to go do this. If we zoom out and we watch the 1 hourly, we had liquidity right here with a small for value gap. I wanted to see if we reacted this way. We had created a 4 hour for value gap by then. So the main thought process, if we change hands right here and we take a liquidity, where does the next market want to go? That is in here, the 4 hour, unbalanced, where actually a lot of orders are still open. Now, we can see it closed the 4 hour completely with the wick, with this wick here. So we closed it. And this is the trigger point where the market can change its hand and say, I want to continue to the direction what I'm actually doing. Because in the 4 hour, we actually changed structure. Because here, we actually had a change of character, a full change of character, because this was the low, that was the high, these was internal lows and highs, and this one broke. So we created a new low. Now we need a lower high if we want to continue lower, and the next target would be of course then that low, afterwards this one. If we break this low, we will go bearish in the daily. Now in the 4 hour, we are bearish at the moment. So it does not mean we don't have retracement, but just because of this 4 hour, the daily gap right above us, I actually expected us to move to those gaps before continuing lower. Those were actually my main thought processes. especially if we saw this 15-minute, tap this, immediately jump back in. Yeah, this was actually a beautiful sign and we wanted to continue and take a bit higher liquidity to continue. So now we came into that 15 minutes, we tapped it. Now I want to see us continue to that high again. If we do continue to that high, TP2 is very close by. So I will be online for another 8 minutes. I appreciate you all for being here. Ooh, that's hot, that's hot, that's hot. We all made at least something out of the market. I wish you all a very great trading session. Let the market do its thing. See if it can hit full TP, yes or no. You've been in it for a while, so you already have your profits. It always feels much greater if you have full TP. I don't believe we have anything coming out soon of news. What's this coming out? At 11 we have a little bit of news, so about 1 hour from now we got European CPI, but normally this is for the S&P and not for the Dow. This does something, but normally America does not have that much influences. Oil does not influence either, so at 7 o'clock we do have something that will definitely make the market shake a bit. If the US 20-year bond high yield changes, so if the yield of a bond goes higher, so that means if percentage away they make more money, that means actually that they go out of speculative stocks and put it in there for a second until the market shows its hand again that they can make money on the other way. So if they can make like 5% on bonds, they will prefer to put it in there than put it in a speculative market. Yeah, anytime. Enjoy to help. I always find it amazing to see that people even watch me when you guys are working. So what kind of work do you do that you can watch this? I used to be a mechanic, so I had the time then. If everything worked, it. So if there are no more questions, I'll end the stream by now. It's about 5 minutes until 10. It was a good stream. Good follow and order flow and where the market wanted to go. So we made profit and we will see what the rest brings. I wish you all project manager IT. Oh yeah, nice. Project manager in IT, do you mean then by building software products, or because yeah, IT it's a very big space at this point. I do find it nice to see that actually trading is actually for every person, for every human, and anybody can actually do it if they are capable of maintaining control over their own thought processes and minds. So this is the reason why I actually want you to log if you had any emotions anywhere, somewhere, doesn't matter what or which, log it at least. It's very important. Even though if the next hourly stops here, right here somewhere, and the next one comes down and taps that value gap or our stop, still be happy with it. We've done what we could. The only thing that we could have done a little bit better maybe was take a second TP right here on this high instead of halfway. But I prefer always halfway for value gap, so that will be something that I implemented for myself. If you prefer as a trader to take profit at the start of a value gap, be okay with it, but do it always. Do not go halfway sometimes, and sometimes first always take what you want to do and keep doing it repeatedly. So you'll always be fine with it. Even though it comes to a second and came very close to it, just do it like you actually want to do it and keep repeating that. So this is how we actually become profitable in trading. By repeating a plan over and over again until it is such a good habit that you can do it with your eyes closed and you don't even want to sit behind the charts anymore then afterwards. You just will let the trade do its thing. I actually like sitting behind the charts. Who of you guys can actually sit behind the charts and do nothing for a whole day? Have you ever tried that? It's not as easy as it looks. Actually, it is easy, but your brain will talk to you a lot and tell you that you actually have to enter a trade. So you do CMRR websites, apps, and I have no idea what VTC is, but okay, nice. You have a great skill, my friend. They will definitely need you for a longer time. Everything is getting that way, so. I believe you use a lot of artificial intelligence too already in your programming. So we have 10 o'clock now. This will show us exactly what we want to see. We will have a nice push immediately, or that will be the stop. This will actually be the one that will show us. So we created a small half hour right here too. Okay, that's it for me for today. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you all back in the afternoon session, and so wish you all a very great trading session. If you made money, just leave it. I'm happy. Be happy with what we made, and we will be here back this afternoon. Thank you for being here. Enjoy the stream and see you back in a few hours.